Now,
All right, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to Yoga Uncorked, where we sip something delicious while we do some stretches. So pour something fabulous. If you have coffee, tea, smoothie, those will all work too. However, we are going to be doing some fun wine yoga shenanigans. So I have a delicious rosé in here. My cup says this wine makes me fine. I do have a straw, makes it a little bit easier to sip on. I also have a lid to prevent spillage of the wine. But if you don't have any of that, no worries. Just be kind of cognizant as you're moving through the poses. You don't want to spill, you don't want to drop our glass, but have fun in class. So you don't have to wear yoga clothes. I'm in yoga clothes just because they're comfy, kind of stretchy. And we're just going to do a quick little stretch, have some fun. If you want to throw out any fun comments or facts through it, you're more than welcome to. Because the whole point of wine yoga is to feel good. So when you're in doubt and you're like, I'm not really sure what this pose is, just take a sip and you're doing the poses just fine. So let's go ahead, let's hop back onto our yoga mat. If you're in a seated chair pose, you can always stay seated, modify the poses as speaks to your soul. But again, there's no rules in wine yoga. Well, there is one. Please don't spill the wine. And please enjoy the wine. But otherwise, let's just enjoy. So let's just start kind of in an easy standing. And if you're seated, I'm just going to go ahead and let you modify your poses accordingly. Let us first start out with a toast, right? Something virtually fun. We're, cheersing everybody from all over. They who virtually clink their plastic sippy cup with mine, put the dazzle in my wine. So go ahead, cheers to the camera, cheers to the dog at home, cheers to the kids that are hopefully very far away so you can enjoy some wine and some yoga, and just cheers to a really good sesh here, right? Well, let's take a sip of something fabulous. Hopefully it tastes amazing. And let's just go ahead, bring favorite ear to favorite shoulder, breathe, smile, bring other favorite ear to other favorite shoulder, being grateful. We only have 2 ears, which I'm very, very grateful for. I don't know if I could cue more than that in wine yoga. Coming back into the center one more time, favorite ear on each side. If you want to do full circles, you can. Sharp pain is not so good. If you feel the crinkles or you feel awkward, welcome to what yoga feels like. But just make sure it's not a sharp pain. Come on out of the pose. Let me know how you're feeling. All right, so coming back into the center here, take one deep inhale. Exhale. Let it go. One more time, big inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Hugging shoulders to the ears and then coming back down. Going ahead, hug shoulders to ears. You can kind of do little circles if you want. You can kind of roll the shoulders up one way, kind of down the other, whatever feels good. There's no right or wrong way in wine yoga. As long as you are getting some stretches in, as long as you're feeling good, that is the whole point behind it. So coming back into a nice neutral spine, go ahead, sweep one hand high over into a nice little side stretch. You don't want to hunch forward. So really try to stack the arm, and I know I'm going to swing down, swing. Let's toast to some verbal typos here. Nice little stretcherunio here. Coming back over, switch your glass to the other side. Get a nice little stretch in, breathing in those good vibes. And if you want, you can do that a few more times. I'm just going to do some organic shoulder poses here. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. So let's start out with a toast again. I like to toast, do a lot of cheersing going on here. A toast to the monks. So it was discovered that the monks were the first amongst us to be drinking wine. So very, very grateful for them. So let's cheers, let's toast, let's sip a runio. If you've pre-gamed before, you're on the same wavelength as me. If you're not, no worries. Let's sip a little bit more. Go ahead and catch up. And let's come into some Tibetan twists. So go ahead, twist, feel good, get a nice little stretch, lift up onto your tippy toes here. And again, you can kind of move your arms around, kind of feel good in there. Whatever speaks to your soul, just going nice and slow. The whole point isn't to get drunk. And if that is your goal, well, good luck. Sip some more, twist a little faster. Otherwise, just gently twist, maybe pause, take another sip. And then go ahead and twist. You can even bring your arms into it if feeling a little bit theatrical. I know sometimes when I have a really delicious wine, I just want to dance and celebrate it. So just go ahead, kind of check in with how the body is feeling. Again, if you're in an easy seated pose, you can just still do this and modify nice and slow, whatever speaks to your soul. Slowly go ahead, wind everything back down. Beautiful. Another sip of Runio. Very nice. So we're going to do one sweet sun salutation. Yes, that is a sweet sun salutation in there. Just so that we get, kind of those yoga vibes going. We're going to do it at the beginning before we have a little bit too much vino. So go ahead, come up to the top of your yoga mat space. Be careful you don't knock over anything in your space. If you're seated, modify as a cat-cow and sweep the hands high. Take another cheater sip of something fabulous because this is wine yoga. And then slowly fold down to the earth. Now, it's not about touching your toes. Actually, if you can't touch your toes, you are my kind of people. So just get a nice little fold. Maybe hold on to your wine glass there. Go ahead. Cheater sips are always welcome. Got to make sure and stay hydrated. And then go ahead, plant the hands on the earth, come down into a nice little tabletop pose. Now from tabletop, you can go ahead, come into an up dog, or if you want, do a little cat-cow. Woo, I'm feeling the creaks in the body. That is okay. You can feel the creaks in the body as long as it's not a sharp pain. So you can come into an up dog here if that feels good. Basically what it is, you've got your hands underneath the armpits or underneath the shoulders here. Kind of just bending back and forth just a little bit, getting a nice little stretch. I'm going to come back into a table or a tabletop. Take another little sip of Runio. And then a down dog, or you can stay here. So down dog, tuck the toes, tailbone comes nice and high. And again, grab your sippy for a cheater sip. If you want to get a little drunk, you can stay here, down dog and drunk a little bit longer. Otherwise, walk hands and feet together. Grab a hold of your sippy cup, roll up nice and slow. Anyone else feeling that in the body? Whew. Especially after sitting in front of the computer all day. You might feel a little bit of that sweet sun salutation. That's okay. Coming back into the center, coming into our Tibetan twist here. So the reason we do the Tibetan twist is we kind of check in. Virtually cheers to the dog, cheers to the kids very far away. Cheers to the hubby, hopefully even further away for now, so you can enjoy some wine and some yoga. And just twist, stretch, breathe, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and then slowly come back into a nice standing position here. Take another sip of some good vibes. I'd be curious to know what you're drinking. So in the comments, let me know. Are we drinking mimosas, rosé, maybe a really fabulous Merlot? I'm always on the hunt for good wine and wine that is really quirky and really fun. So please share all the good vibes here. I'm toasting you virtually with all of that goodness. Coming back into the center, let's kind of check in. Let's bring favorite ear, favorite shoulder, other favorite ear, other favorite shoulder. Wiggle fingers, toes, breathing in some positivity. Exhale. Let it go. One more time. Breathing in. Exhale. Beautiful. So bringing the arms nice and out, nice and wide, and then going ahead, bringing them into their nice bent angle here. My wine sippy is quite heavy duty. It's a little heavy, so I'm going to actually get a little arm workout in. This is my version of working out, so I don't have to go to the gym. You modify as needed for you, whatever works for you. And so from here, we're just going to lift the arms up and lift the arms down. Lift the arms up and kind of lift them down. If you want to get a little bit into like dab formation, you're more than welcome to. It's your sesh, whatever feels good for you. Just kind of breathing in. Exhale. And so in wine yoga, we don't really count, okay? So this is like 100. Hello, beautiful. 100. 100. Just doing a nice little stretch, right? Nothing too crazy. I want to dab. See a dab in there for you? I just learned how to do that. I'm very happy. I'm not going to lie. my niece taught me. So coming back here, switch over. Hello. Oh, yes. Woohoo! That's awesome. See, they taught you too. Yeah, that's so great. That was even better. That had a little bit of like flair going on in there. Well, cheers. Cheers to that dab. So coming over to the other side, just do a nice little stretch of Runio here. Breathing in. Exhale. Let it all go. Beautiful. So holding on to the sippy if you have one. Taking, yep, cheers. Okay, virtual cheers. Love it, love it, love it. And sips, lots of sipping. We have to stay hydrated, especially us here in Vegas, right? A little bit of standing cat-cow. So just kind of shift the gaze up, get a nice little back bend in. Inhale, exhale, tuck the chin to the chest. This is where I do cheater sips all day long. You're more than welcome. Take some cheater sips in here. Slowly coming back up to the center one more time. Just a little bit of a cat-cow going on here. And then tuck the chin to the chest, getting a nice little stretch. Beautiful. So coming back into the center, checking in, doing our Tibetan twist. So just lift up onto the tippy toes. Feel good. This is great. You can do this pose when you're feeling a moment to breathe. If you're ever feeling really stressed, just grab your wine, come into the Tibetan twist, kind of dance around, cheers, and take another sip of Runio. So coming back, standing. One hand has your sippy cup, and the other is going to come out nice and wide like you're pressing against an imaginary wall. From here, just take that palm down to the earth. You're going to feel it right in the wrist-a-runios here. So if you can't feel it, pull the fingers back as you push the palm down. Now, not to get too crazy complicated, take a sip when in doubt. And then you feel it in the wrist, and you wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Inhale, sweep that hand high. Exhale, back into the center. Make star hand, star fist, star hand, star fist. And let's do the other side first. So let's take a sip of something. All right, so other side, other hand presses against the imaginary wall, and you're gonna kind of pull the fingers back, push the palms down. Now you can do this pose seated. I do this all the time between Zoom sessions. Kind of a nice stretch-a-runio here. Breathe in. I'm gonna take a little cheater sip here. And then exhale, let it go. Sweep that hand high, back down into the heart center. Make a little star hand, star fist. Beautiful. Take a deep inhale, positivity. Exhale. Let all the craziness go. All right. So coming into our Wine Warrior series. So it's super fun, super chill. If you have a wall behind you, highly recommend to hold on to the wall if you want for balance. There's no rules in wine yoga, except please don't spill the wine and sip, you know, a lot of it. Okay, so so walk your feet kind of nice and wide here and just kind of feel good. Now, if you want to we have a bachelorette party kind of version where you can kind of get the hips a little into it. Whatever speaks to your soul. You can kind of move the hips around. You can kind of have fun with it. Whatever works for you. This is your sesh to modify. We are going to take, and it's easy if you stay parallel to the camera with me. I don't really cue right or left, okay? So we're going to take one foot and we're going to point the toes out and away. Back foot stays nice and parallel. Bring those hands out into a warrior two pose. And then just feel strong. I like to place my sippy cup into the leg. You're going to bend the leg that's pointed out, sippy cup. And so it really helps when you have that sippy. And so see, my hands are even high, like, woo, who's been pre-gaming over here? And then slowly come back, take a little sip of Runio. From here, coming into what we call our Wine Warrior. So we're gonna sweep the hand with the sippy cup high. Again, if you have a glass one, please be careful. You don't wanna spill the deliciousness, but it helps having a straw, because look, another cheater sip. So good. I'm drinking a rosé. It's so fabulous. It's so delicious. And then slowly go ahead, come back to a warrior two. Go ahead, straighten the front leg, turn everything so we're back facing the camera. Let's come to standing. Kind of take a moment and just kind of check in for a minute here. So I want to share a fun fact with you guys. It's from Wikipedia, hashtag not a doctor, just FYI. So basically, there was a little old lady who lived to be 122 years old. Now, if you guys want, you can do some organic stretches. You can just simply close your eyes and sip in the goodness, kind of breathe. We're just pausing. We don't want to get too drunk yet, unless that speaks to your soul. But the little old lady, she had 3 things in her diet. I'm curious if anyone knows what those 3 things would be that helped her live a very long, long life. So I'm going to give it a moment here. Anyone? I actually am a little far from the camera. You can always just call it out, whatever speaks to you.
Lots of wine.
Yes, wine is one of them. Yes, yes, yes. Cheers to the little old lady who lived to be 122. She also had olive oil and dark chocolate. And I've also had people tell me she had a lot of sex. So I need to go into Wikipedia and update that just so that I can go ahead and be like, I contributed to this fun fact. But hashtag not a doctor. This is Wikipedia approved. So let's go ahead and let's do our other side here. So walking our feet out nice and wide, facing the camera, we're going to place the sippy cup in this hand so you're parallel to the camera with me. Turn those toes with the sippy cup out. So we've got some toes pointed forward this way. Other toes are nice and back. We're just doing a nice little warrior two. And if your hands are all over the place, it doesn't matter. It's just the wine and yoga. Try not to knock over any of your plants. This one's Henry. Hopefully Henry's happy today. So say hello, say some cheers to everything around you. Coming into a warrior two pose, taking another little sip of Runio. And cheers to the wine gods. Cheers to everything. I like lots of cheersing. It's an old ritual. It's a little bit morbid, right? They cheers in the olden days to slosh their drink into someone else's drink. Make sure it wasn't poisoned, but hey, I'll take the good cheers, right? We might need that in today's day and age, right? Lots of cheers, lots of good vibes. So coming back into the center here, just do some nice little organic twisterunios, just kind of checking in. So the whole point with the twisting, it's actually great. If you don't have time to go to the gym, and I'm being serious on this note, if you don't have time to go to the gym, it's so great to just do these nice little twists here because you're lifting up onto your tippy toes, so you're wiggling out the ankle, you're moving the hips, moving the torso, moving the shoulders. There's just a lot of goodness that comes from this pose right here. So slowly go ahead. Coming back down into the center. Beautiful. Let's do a few sweeps here. So inhale, sweep those hands high. I know my hands are off camera. Exhale, bring hands to heart center and take a sip. Sweeping those hands high. Exhale. Beautiful. So I've developed something that's a little quirky. It's a way to multitask, drink wine, cook, yell at the kids, or help the kids, and get some yoga in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come into a chair pose. So your feet are just chilling on the earth. We're going to sit our bum back. Now, this is Instagram. This is what we really do in yoga right here. So whatever speaks to you, it's your yoga session. I'm not judging, not judging. I'm just letting you know the nuances. So you can sit as low as you want. I'm doing kind of the cheater version here where I'm just kind of sitting. So here's how the flow goes, right? So you're here, take a little sip of wine. Go ahead, stir some stuff on the pasta, some pasta on the stove. You can tell I cook a lot, right? Stir some pasta on the stove. The knees are pointed still towards the front. We're just turning the torso, okay? So we're here, turning the torso. We're like, you know, a little pasta, a little garlic parmesan. And then we're gonna turn this way. We're gonna drop it low, tie the kids' shoes all the way down here. Hopefully they're Velcro. I hate doing kids' shoes ties. Slowly come back up, raise the hands, talk to the hubby. Maybe you're cheers, maybe you're yelling at the hubby. Why aren't you helping me? Come back over here, back to the stove, a little bit of that pasta, just a little more garlic, right? Garlic is a good preventative, serious fact, by the way. Come back to the center, drop it low, fix the kid's shoes because he untied them again or the dog ate it. Dogs are kind of crazy. Coming back up, and then slowly come to standing. Whew, all right, how's that multitasking? You feel it in the core, maybe a little bit in the glutes, maybe a little bit all over. So what I love about wine yoga is it's cool. You can face back to the camera. You can do it wherever. You can do it on a Zoom call. You can do it at a stoplight because they're very long here in Vegas. Or you could do it in the midst of getting dinner ready. You don't have to go get the yoga mat and get the clothes. And, you know, if we're going to get into it, get into it. But the cool thing about yoga is it's all about feeling good. When you add in the wine, you should really have a guilt-free experience drinking. So take another sip of Runio, something fabulous. Beautiful. Okay, so coming into some balancing poses here. Now you can always hold on to the wall if it speaks to you. I highly recommend I use the wall all the time. It's a little harder when we don't have a wall present, but that's okay. Maybe you have a friend you can hold on to balance. We're just gonna do a textured big toe pose. So going ahead, lifting up one of your favorite legs and just tapping the toes on the earth. So I have my sippy cup in my strong standing leg. The other leg, I'm just kind of bending it a little bit here. So you can kind of see it's bent a little bit. Now you can just simply walk the toes out. And so we're in kind of a fun little ballerina vibe here. And this can be the version that you want to do for your set here, if it speaks to you. Now, if you're really feeling ambitious, Cheater sip. By the way, if I don't cue a sip, please help yourself, right? Make yourself comfortable. Like those people that come into your home and make themselves comfortable, pour their own wine, make their own food. You're like, yes, thank you. I can just relax. So if you want to go a little bit further, you can actually take your sippy cup, hold on to the wall, and you can bring one knee high, coming into a textured big toe pose. So if I were to turn sideways and hold on to the wall, this is kind of what it would look like here. Whatever feels good for you. And if you fall out, it's okay. It's just wine yoga. And if you want to plant that foot down and kind of modify, just try to lengthen through the spine. Yep, taking a sip of something good. And come back into the center. Take a moment, let that side go. Sometimes we have one side that doesn't really speak to us. That's okay. The next side possibly will. So taking the sippy cup in the other hand, beautiful. Taking the other toes, pointing them into the earth here. If you want, you can kind of pop the hip out. It's actually a really feel good stretch, by the way. And then from here, just stay right here and feel good. If you're feeling like you want to go a little further, go ahead, take hand to knee. Oh, I'm feeling a little wobbly on my end. Option to cheers to the world. Option to come in for a sip. And then slowly come back. Now, when we do this type of pose in person, everyone gets really serious. And it's like, no, where's the laughter? Where's the fun? Right? Everyone's like, I'm not falling. I'm not proving that I'm drunk yet. That's okay. No worries. So you're at home. So just have some fun. Let's bring back in those good vibes, coming back into some Tibetan twisterunios here. Breathing in, exhale. Let it go. So a buttery baby tree. So take your favorite heel and just kickstand it into your favorite ankle. Now, if you want to grow the foot up the leg, you can. After drinking, I'm happy to stay right here. Again, you can kind of cock the hip out to the side if you want. That does feel really good. But whatever speaks to your soul. Hands come into the heart center, holding on to the sippy. I did a cheater sip. Inhale, exhale. Now, if you're feeling really ambitious, you can grow those branches nice and high if that speaks to you. Whatever works. It's not about ego, and it's windy, very windy here in Vegas. We cannot do any paddleboard yoga. So if you fall, it's just the wind, right? Trees are windy. Coming back into the center, kind of do an organic shoulder babarunio here. Other side, other favorite heel into the favorite ankle. Again, I'm grateful we only have two. And then from here, you can just simply modify. Try to lengthen through the spine, though, if you can. Really try to think like strong like a tree. I'm curious what everybody's favorite tree is. Mine is a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. They are very, very strong, by the way. They can hold up, kind of, the little Christmas light bulb. But maybe you're an oak tree, maybe a maple tree. But picture that tree in this pose. Inhale, exhale. Bring it back. Doing some nice little poses here. And kind of just check in. Send some gratitude. You know, hopefully it's a good day so far. Hopefully you're getting things done. If you're here, you're enjoying some good vibes, some good conversation. But just send some gratitude. If you have nothing to be grateful for, we all have days like that. Pour yourself some wine and be grateful for the wine and the light stretches. So let's take another little sip, Arunio. All right, so coming back into the center here. Big inhale, exhale, let it all go. Let's do this a few times, just kind of checking in. Inhale the positivity, send some gratitude, exhale, let it go. A few more times, inhale, exhale. So I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here. So you can keep breathing if you want, but the secret to a really good yoga class, with or without the wine, I mean, ours, of course, the secret's the wine, but the secret to a really good yoga class is to keep breathing. So if you go to a yoga class, you don't do much, or you feel like you didn't get the poses, just breathe. Because at the end of class, you're going to feel fabulous. It's pretty amazing. So let's do one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to open it up for a second here. We have kind of a little bit of a seated series where we kind of sit the bum down at the end. But are there any poses that you're maybe thinking you want to do? Maybe some more balancing poses, maybe another wine warrior. If there's anything that you want to do, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll just kind of keep moving on down to the earth.
Wine warrior feels so good. I don't know what it is. It just feels like the stretch across my back just feels like it's taking all the tension from sitting at the computer and just kind of releases it.
Yay! Okay, cool. Let's do some more warriors then. We can actually get a little bit more deep into the warriors too. I think that'll really help. So let's go ahead. Let's do a nice wide stance again here. Beautiful. Sippy cup is in the favorite hand over here. This toes are going to point out towards the sippy cup, if you will. Hands come out to a T. Bend into the knees facing the sippy cup here. Warrior 2. So this is what I love here. Beautiful. Gaze at the fabulous sippy. Option to come in for a cheater sip. This is how I pretend to work out too. With those arm vibes going on here. And then wine warrior coming in, lifting the hands nice and high. Other hand can come down. I know I'm off camera. I need a bigger camera, I think. But coming into wine warrior, yep, feel free. And if you want, you can gaze up, feel good, bend into the front knee. And then come back, yep, sips are always welcome. Zip, zip, hooray, hashtag. Okay, so coming back into this warrior 2, let's take it a little bit further this time. Let's take our favorite elbow or arm, the forearm, place it down into the bend. You can take the other hand high. Now it's kind of cool. You can fold forward, take a sip, feel the stretch. A little harder sip there. And then go ahead and roll back up. And so notice how the shoulders are kind of stacked on top of each other here, kind of bending into the pose. Beautiful, excellent. And then slowly come back up. Warrior 2, nice and strong, fierce. Wine warrior. And coming back into the center. Taking a moment, excuse me, kind of checking in. All right, coming into the other side. So sippy cups in the other hand. Walking those feet nice and wide. Pointing the toes that are with the sippy away from you. Hands coming out to a T. Make sure I don't knock over all my beautiful little plants here. It's happened. Poor Henry. He's had a couple spills. And then slowly go ahead. Take the sippy cup with the hand high. Get a nice stretcherunio. Wine warrior. Also called sun warrior if you do traditional yoga. And then feel free to kind of look up at that sippy cup, right? Feel good. Feel a nice little stretch. Coming back into a warrior 2 pose. Gazing at the sippy. Smiling because hopefully you have lots of wine in there. If not, please refill accordingly. And then taking your favorite forearm down to that side. And you're going to notice one side a little bit tighter than the other. And you can fold forward, take a sip, and then roll the shoulders back. So you kind of feel the stretch there, right? So you kind of feel how when you stack the shoulders versus when you fold forward, you're just pulling the shoulders back, bending into that front leg. And you might want to look down at the front leg. It actually helps the neck too and the shoulders. And if you fall, it's okay. It's just wine yoga. Just don't spill the wine. Coming slowly back up. Warrior 2 pose. Breathing in. Exhale. And then slowly bring everything back to the center. Walking the feet back, coming into our Tibetan twist. Now feel free to really twist those shoulders, maybe wiggle fingers, toes, move favorite ear over to favorite shoulders. Just kind of check in, make sure everything feels happy. If not, send it some gratitude and some love. Also, I forgot we have to send some gratitude to the toes because we always forget about our toes unless we get a pedicure or we stub our toes. It's the one body part we always seem to forget. So slowly coming back. Any other poses that we feel we're needing today, let me know. Okay, so we are going to come to a seated, a decanted chair pose. And we're going to slowly sit the bum back into chair. You're more than welcome to do the Instagram because it feels good, kind of like a forward fold here. And then slowly lower down, all the way down to the earth. Nice and slow, landing the bum down onto the earth. Make sure you can still see me. Perfect, yep. Oh my goodness, Desiree, I have been looking for that. I want to make that, I want to have it. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful background.
Thank you. That was a gift from a friend of mine, so I'll have to ask her where she got it.
Yes, please do. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh, yes, I love that. Absolutely. I need that's what I need right here. Maybe put it, feng shui it. All right. So coming back down here, down to the earth, the bum is on the earth here. We are going to slowly sweep those hands high, and fold forward down to the earth. Now you can place your sippy cups between the legs if you want. It's a nice safe little spot right there. Whatever speaks to your soul. If you can't touch your toes, no worries. This is not about touching your toes. It's just about getting a little stretcheroonio on here. Just let the chin kind of get heavy, kind of do a nice fold. If you want to point the toes, you're more than welcome to. Obviously, cheetah sips are always welcome. So I come out of the pose, take a little cheetah sip arunio, send some cheers to my plant Henry, and some good vibes, and then slowly fold back down again. So just breathe, smile, it's only wine yoga. Slowly go ahead, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Take a deep inhale, exhale, let it go. Hugging your favorite knee into your armpit. Now you don't really want to hug the knee into the chest so much as the armpit because it helps lengthen through the spine. So then we're holding onto our body. Just rock gently, kind of massage the cheekbones, the lower cheekbones. Just get a nice little stretch in here. Say something kind to your body. And no cheating. We have two sides. So one side, something good. The other side, something good. Relax the foot into the earth. So we still have one leg nice and bent. We have another one out nice and long. Let's, of course, take a cheater sip of Runio before we stretch. All right. So from here, lengthen through the spine, twist towards the bent leg, and get a nice stretch. Now, twists are great. They're my cheater version of crunches. I really don't like crunches very much, but twists help tone the waist, trim the hips. They also help with digestion, which is so great after all the coffee that we all drink, I'm sure, after all the Zoom stuff. Just get a nice little stretch. Your body will thank me later. You're welcome. You're welcome. And then slowly come back into the center. Go ahead, let the knee fall. So this would be a head to knee pose if you've done yoga. Otherwise, you just have one knee that's bent, the foot is into the thigh, and the other leg is long. So hopefully you can see that okay. I'm kind of a little low on the ground here. Perfect, perfect. So inhale. Exhale, slowly start to fold towards the extended leg. Now you could just do a basic forward fold, but if you twist towards that extended leg, it feels pretty good here. So getting a nice little stretch in. And then slowly go ahead, roll on up. Extend both legs nice and long, kind of maybe popcorn the knees, take another sip of Runio. All right, so I am very grateful for goats. And here's the reason why. If you've been following me on Insta, you've seen my quote. Now I know PETA probably wouldn't approve of this, but I really like back in the olden days, right? Back before we had all this awareness of how we were treating our society and our earth, they used every part of the animal, and wine was carried in the goat skin before they decided to create wine bottles, which, hello, huge thank you on the wine bottles. But I'm grateful for goats, right? I want a little baby one that just eats a bunch of grass and is just really happy, lives forever. But let's cheers to the goats. If you have animals at home, cheers to the animals at home. Cheers to taking care of our earth, recycling, being happy, being good. Lots of toast and cheers. Okay, moving on, other side. So hugging the other knee into the armpit here, and then kind of rocking gently from side to side, kind of feeling good, feeling some good vibes, massaging the cheekbones that are back there. Breathing in, and then exhale. Relax the foot into the earth. Beautiful. So inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then twist towards that bent leg. Now, you can do twists all day long if that speaks to your soul. Whatever works. Twists are great. Just be careful how the lower back is feeling. It shouldn't be a sharp pain. If it's a sharp pain, come on out, or just lessen the twisterunio. Very slowly come back into the center. Let the knees fall open. I have a little cheater pillow over here. It's kind of helping massage me. So we're coming into a head to knee pose, which basically you take one bent leg, foot into thigh, one leg nice and long. And I'm actually going to turn this way just so that there's not any confusion. You don't have to move, no problem. But you can kind of see the pose maybe a little bit better here. So inhale, exhale, twist towards that leg. Get a nice little stretcherunio in. And then slowly go ahead, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Extend both legs nice and long, popcorn the knees. So this time we're going to do another toast, but not so much to a fun fact with wine yoga. Thank you, Wikipedia and the internet. But let's do a toast to someone that we're really, really grateful for. Maybe after this Zoom call, go ahead, send them a little, text message, a handmade card, but let us toast to people we care about the most. Mine is my little old grandma. I love her to pieces, so I'm toasting her. And send out some good vibes. Coming into a nice, kind of easy seated, but with the soles of the feet together. So I'm actually going to turn so that I'm facing the camera here. If you can stay in whatever position speaks to your soul. So the soles of the feet are together and the knees are out nice and wide. You move that out of the way there. Perfect. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Now 2 choices on this one. You can just simply tuck the chin to the chest. I kind of sound like Julia Child a little bit. I'm trying to figure out who I sound like. Apparently I have a lot of accents when I teach, so I'm a little bit more aware. Cheers to being aware of how we sound. Okay. So anyways, cheers to fun actresses and true stories. So you can actually tuck your chin to your chest, or you can place the sippy cup between your feet. If you feel like your feet are nice and clean, that's always a nice good sign. Once your sippy cup's between the feet, you can fold all the way down. You can even extend your legs out a little longer to do a nice little forward fold and sip. And then slowly go ahead, roll on up and get a nice stretch. So I'm going to show you another cheater version on how to multitask. This is the only way that I do crunches. But you can watch some TV and do some nice little workout. Now, if you have a full glass of wine, please don't do this. But if you've already drank some of your wine and you're not worried about your carpet, you're going to take your sippy cup between the feet here. And I'm actually a little too close to the wall. So I'm going to turn sideways. Mine has a lid and a straw, so I'm very safe. You're going to extend the arms out. You can plant the hands on the earth if you want. And just do some nice little cheater crunches. So when you're watching TV and you didn't want to go to the gym, maybe you're about to eat some good pasta, and I can only do so many. If you want to extend your arms out with it, you can. Woo! But that is the way to do burns that toxify the tannins, is what we call it. Burn some calories while we take them in and all the good vibes in between. So slowly come into a nice, easy seated. Woo, hopefully you're feeling the calories, disintegrating from the body. We're going to sip for something that we are very grateful for. So we're going to do a toast. Think of one thing. Could be the space that you're in, could be your plants, could be something fabulous, but toast to something that you're grateful for. Let's just raise that gratitude vibration and take a sip. If you need a refill, go ahead. You can always help yourself. If you're at home, you can drink as much as you'd like. And coming into an easy seated, take a big inhale, exhale, let it all go. One more time, inhale, exhale, let it go. So kind of coming back a little bit like we were in the beginning of class. Bring your favorite ear to your favorite shoulder and just kind of check in. See if anything's changed now that you're seated. Other favorite ear, other favorite shoulder. Hopefully you can feel a little bit more stretchy vibes going on. You can do half circles if you like. You can do full circles, whatever feels good for you. But just kind of bring ear to shoulder. Stretch out that neckarunio. Coming back into the center, you can hold on to your sippy or place it in front of you if you'd like. Some seated cat-cows like we did standing, but with seated, if you want to use your hands to hold onto your knees and lengthen into the spine, you can. So inhale, nice little back bend, not too crazy because we are drinking some vino. And then exhale, tuck the chin to the chest. I'm actually holding onto my knees. I'm extending my arms out long. And I'm just going to do this a few more times. So inhale. Excuse me, and go ahead, shift the gaze up, I'm pulling on my knees to kind of pull forward into a little bit more of a back bend. And then exhale, tuck the chin to the chest all the way down. Whatever feels good for you. Just a few more times, kind of breathing in. Option to modify. You don't even have to get the whole body into it. You can just keep moving the head around. Whatever feels good for you. And slowly, maybe one more time, come back into the nice center. Beautiful. So taking our hands out, you can hold on to your sippy. I'm going to put mine down. We are going to hug the bate. So the hands are out, hands are parallel to each other. We're going to make an X with the arms and then sweep the hands onto the shoulders. So beautiful. From here, you can try to walk the hands back like they're trying to connect in the back of your shoulders. Lengthen through the spine, so suck in the core. Kind of notice how you're feeling. Now, yogi's choice here. You can tuck your chin to your chest and start to fold all the way down in this pose. Or if you want, you can just simply stay nice and tall. Whatever speaks to the soul, whatever feels good. If you fold forward, maybe try to take a teeter sip if you can. And then slowly, slow as molasses, because we're moving into my favorite season of fall. Bring the hands out nice and parallel. Sweep them high and then let them fall down by your side. So let's do the other side here. And if you do the same side, no worries, it's wine yoga. So bringing the hands out parallel to each other, make an X the other way. Again, if you get mixed up, no one's gonna know. Take the hands onto the shoulders here. And if your friend judges you, just drink some of their wine. So breathing in, exhale. And if you want to fold all the way down, you're more than welcome to. And slowly go ahead, roll up nice and slow, sweeping the hands high, and then hands come down into the heart center. Beautiful. So from here, coming into, well, first let's take a sip. We haven't had a sip in a while. My poor little liver's like, where's the wine? So from here, inhale, lengthen, just exhale, do a gentle little twist. Whatever side speaks to your soul, whatever side feels good. And our last toast, if you will, in our series of gratitude is to be grateful for some feelings. So coming back into the center, let's go ahead and twist over to the other side. Be grateful for all the feels, right? Because all the feels, we're human. We feel good, we feel crazy, we've got ups and downs, but it's through the ups and the downs that we find success, right? We're able to move through, we're able to find out how strong people we are. So coming back into the center, just be grateful for all the feelings, all the crazy. I know it's a little unconventional, but think about Thomas Edison. How many times did he fail with the light bulb, right? If he hadn't have failed so many times and been so sad and like, oh, all right, I'm gonna try again, we wouldn't be here, right? I'm grateful for all this light. So taking something negative, turning it something positive, and if your thoughts are positive, keep them high. Another sip of Runio. Another toast to some good vibes. All right, so we're gonna wrap up our class here with a few more poses here. So go ahead, sweep those hands nice and high. Slowly start to sway from side to side. If you wanna hold on to your sippy, you can. And just get a nice stretch in. Slowly start to wave everything back down. Beautiful. Taking one more big inhale. Exhale. Let it go. So now yogi's choice here. So if you want to stay in a nice easy seated, you can. Typically with wine yoga, we don't really do a lot of shavasana. People kind of fall asleep, and on virtual, how am I going to wake them up, you know? So anyways, if you want to relax and do a shavasana, you can. Shavasana or wine asana, in this case, you would just relax and just relax into the earth. But I'm going to stay nice and easy seated. If you want, you can even relax up against a wall, place a pillow behind you, whatever feels good, just get comfortable, right? You can soften the gaze, close the eyes again. Please don't fall asleep. We won't be able to turn off your video in the next class with you. But go ahead. Taking a deep inhale, exhale. I'm going to pause and be quiet for 5 breaths here. So during the 5 breaths, you can do whatever speaks to your soul. You can focus on your breath. You can send some gratitude. You can frantically sip and finish the rest of your wine if you're not going to a happy hour after. You don't want to be caught drinking wine, whatever feels good. But I'm going to pause for 5 breaths. So here we go. Just breathing in that positivity. Exhale. And on your last breath, just let all the craziness go. Grab a hold of your sippy cup, bring it close to your heart with some good vibes. Taking another sip of something delish. And I drink to myself What a wonderful, wonderful world. Why not stay? So, thank you for joining me for a corker wine yoga sesh. Cheers to everyone for getting their stretches in. I'm going to hop up to the camera and answer any questions, or if there's any additional poses, I did leave a few minutes. I could answer questions, do some poses, and all that good stuff. Okay? Cheers.
Wow, Emily, that was amazing. Thank you for helping us get our yoga on.
Thank you for having me.
Do wine and drink yoga.
I'm stealing that from you. It's so epic.
And so I'll let you engage with your panelists now. Just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. I love you. Inspired me, so I'm really excited. Do wine, drink yoga. Hashtag all the way. New one. I like it. Yay.
Oh my gosh, I feel so good.
Yay. Good.
I've been sitting at this computer since 7:30 this morning, so I think that's just what I needed this afternoon.
Yay. Thank you for hopping on, and I love the background. That is just so epic, so beautiful. Yeah. Yay. Cool. All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, when in doubt, just grab something delicious to sip on, your little stretch, Runio, drink a lot of wine, and thank you guys for joining. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Bye, everyone.